Hey everyone, it's been a minute since I've done a video. I've actually been promising to do some more since January, but well, it's almost June and here we are. And in fact, the Lord has been prompting me to do this for a few weeks. So as some of you know, we went on a trip to Morocco and we visited Marrakesh and another city called Fez. We went via Nairobi and Istanbul, and so it was an incredible trip. I got to do some incredible things that I never thought I'd ever do, but along the way I really did encounter the Lord, and I thought, well, if there is ever a video to share aside from all of the photos and the little travel blog that I did on my Facebook page, I really felt like I needed to share where the Lord encountered me. And it actually started with a conversation with my sister. She phoned me just before we were about to board for Nairobi. And if you travel with Zena, you know that people do things for you because, you know, you're with Zena. She just carries crazy favor. And so I was chatting to her, and she just prayed that the Lord's favor would rest on me like it rests on her. And I was like, yes, I receive it. Well, let me tell you that within half an hour, we were boarding the plane and they had upgraded us to first class. I was like, wow, this is amazing. So the Lord, yeah, favored us. It was amazing. But he also used that opportunity because we were traveling with friends, and they hadn't boarded by the time the plane was ready to go. And because we were sitting in the front, we could overhear them saying the luggage of the folk that were traveling with us, you know, they needed to find it and take it off because they hadn't arrived. And so we could say, no, they're definitely here. They're actually, well, Hilton hopped on the phone. They were at the gate waiting. They thought that they were boarding when actually that was the time that the plane was scheduled to leave. So just how the Lord used all circumstances, and here we are. I mean, it was amazing. The other beautiful thing that the Lord did, even before we started our journey, was Hilton was offered private banking with our bank, and it was such a godsend because the transit was one of the most hectic things, and so the Lord prepared the way for us by he not only prepared the way, but he provided for us. Because that Nairobi airport is expensive, and the Istanbul airport is even more expensive. And so when you're traveling as a South African, it makes life a little interesting. And so just the provision of food and water and cool drinks and coffees in airport lounges was honestly just one of the most beautiful ways that the Lord provided for us, and was so necessary. So we arrive in Marrakesh, and it's late in the evening, and we arrive at our riad, which is a home that we are staying in. That's like a guest house. And the general manager tells us his name, and his name is Adam. And I'm like, oh Jesus, I see you. It was crazy. I was like, can't make it up. So the next morning, we are up early and we are heading for a hot air balloon ride. And we stayed in the Medina, which is the old part of the city, and you walk everywhere. If you're lucky, you can hitch a ride on a scooter or on a tuk-tuk, but generally you walk everywhere. And as we were walking through the Medina, it was still dark. It was like 5:15 in the morning. And at sunrise, the call to prayer comes across loudly in the Medina. And like I just felt my spirit like challenged, and I was praying as I was walking, and I was like, Lord, you have to show me where you are in this place, because I really need to know where you are. And he said to me, but Leanne, I'm always with you. It was like I could hear him. Leanne, I'm always with you. In fact, I'm in you. And I was like, Lord, I know, like these are things that I know. And he says, but what you don't realize is that the fact that I have taken up residence in you is my greatest victory. And I just promptly wept. Walking through the Medina, heading for the outer wall. And the Lord says to me, my greatest victory is the fact that I've taken up residence in you. And I was like, yo, Lord, that is just so very powerful. So we head out to the outskirts of Marrakesh, and I think there were 15 of us on this hot air balloon ride. And it was, a lot of people have said, so was it scary? And I'm like, no, not at all. Because as soon as that balloon lifted, I felt the peace of the Lord rest on me. Like, it was just crazy, actually, like the most surreal experience. But again, just really feeling the presence of the Lord and the peace of the Lord. I think I wept for the first 10 minutes of being up in the air. And so really a beautiful encounter with the Lord, even in that space with lots of people around, but still feeling his presence so tangibly. So that afternoon, we went on a bike ride, motorbike with a sidecar. So I was in the sidecar, Hilton was on the back of the motorbike, and our driver, what a great guy, he was amazing. Again, I can't make it up. I say to him, okay, so hi, I'm Leanne, what is your name? And he says to me, Manuel. I was like, hi, Jesus. Again, it was so funny, but I'm like, he shows up, what can I say? I'm like, even in this country that is not a Christian country, he was still very much present, let me tell you. So we have a wonderful weekend celebrating Alistair's birthday, and on the Monday we head for the city of Fez. And beautiful, again, we're staying in the Medina, in the most beautiful riad. It's like, oh, just magnificent. Like the detail and the creativity is just next level. And you know, one of the things that I asked the Lord as we went to Marrakesh and to Fez, I'm like, Lord, we have some money to spend, but will you show me where to spend this money? Because I really want to be so careful where we spend money and what we spend our money on and who we spend our money with. And so I on the Tuesday evening, we're walking through the Medina, and I mean, lots of it's busy, lots of restaurants, lots of shops, lots of like people trying to sell you stuff. And I say to Hilton, okay, so where should we go for supper? Do we go there? Where do we, you know? And we're walking, and eventually I spot this little restaurant in the Medina, and I say to Hilton, okay, let's go here. And he says, yes, let's go here. So we sit down, and it's really pokey little restaurant. Like they're like 4 tables that seat 2 people each. So very small. And the lady insists that I try a pasté, which was a very Moroccan sweet and savory pastry with chicken and pistachio nuts, and oh, it was absolutely delicious. And Hilton orders some tacos, I think, but it was really a wrap. And we've placed our order, and all of a sudden I become aware of the music that's playing, and it's instrumental saxophone music. And I say to Hilton, listen to what the song is that they are playing over the speakers, and it's "Oh Holy Night, the stars are brightly shining." And I was like, I can't again, I can't make it up. What are the chances that we are sitting in Fez, in a very Muslim country, and they are playing Christmas carols? Oh Holy Night, fall on your knees. I mean, I was blown away. We were blown away. And even, oh, like joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive her King. Let me tell you that there is no greater truth than that. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Man, I'm telling you, It was just incredible. And so one of the wonderful experiences was going to the secret garden in the middle of the Medina, back in Marrakesh, and learning how the waterways work, and how so many hundreds of years ago they laid what are they called? They laid pipes, terracotta pipes, all the way from the Atlas Mountains into the city of Marrakesh, and that's how Marrakesh gets their water. And the Lord was so clear. He said, Leanne, I'm even in the water. Like I'd experienced him in so many places in Marrakesh and even in Fez. And the Lord said to me, Leanne, I'm even in the living water. It's the living water that comes from the Atlas Mountains. Where does our help come from? Oh, my help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. I look to the mountains. Where does my help come from? Well, it's also, where does the water come from? It comes from the mountains. just beautiful, honestly. And I think my heart really was for the people of Marrakesh, that they would have a revelation of the fact that actually, even in the water, the Lord is there. Even though they don't know it, that they would experience it, and that they would just encounter the Lord in just such a beautiful way. That last day, we actually went up into the Atlas Mountains. It was pretty surreal because we were sitting overlooking these snow-capped mountain. We were in the mountains overlooking the snow-capped mountains, and it was 25 degrees Celsius. It was warm, and just the most incredible creativity of our Lord, and just how he works. And so that is how I encountered the Lord in Marrakesh and in Fez, in Morocco. We also had a pretty surreal experience on our flight from Istanbul to Marrakesh, with pilgrims returning from Mecca. And I'm reminded of how important the fruit that we carry is. I'm reminded of the fact that we are called to be kind people. We are called to be redemptive people. We are called to be people who see what's happening around us, and who bring solutions to what's happening around us. And so, that's my story when it comes to finding Jesus in Morocco. All the way there and all the way back, he is ever present to me. And if he can be ever present to me, let me tell you that he's ever present to you. Thanks for listening.